What did you think about your property tax assessment this year?
Turns out a record number of property tax protests were filed this year.
And while the overwhelming majority of them have been resolved by now, there are some property owners who have yet to even have their hearing.
In fact, one Bexar County taxpayer told us she never got notice of her hearing date, and to make matters worse, her appeal for a rescheduled hearing was denied.
News 4's April Molina explains the issue in tonight's Troubleshooters investigation.
This year, a record 89,316 property owners filed protests with the Bexar County Appraisal District, a nearly 50% increase over last year. 40,000 of those taxpayers were granted both a hearing and a reduction in property value. Susan Credwig has had neither. The Credwigs bought this Northside home in 2013 for $135,650. It was a HUD home that admittedly needed a lot of work.
There were several issues with it. There was a huge hole in the roof where the raccoons had eaten through it. AC wasn't working.
She expected a substantial property value increase from the first year to the second, but not again in 2015.
When we got the 2015 appraisal and I saw $194,000, I thought that was absolutely crazy. Last year's appraisal was $176,000, and I even questioned that at that time.
Credwig sent her letter of protest to the Bexar County Appraisal District on May 21st. 2 months later, she called to find out why she had not yet heard back about a hearing date.
Monica from the appraisal office said, "We did send it to you. Your hearing was July 8th. And I said, "We never received anything."
She was told a request for a new hearing date would have to go through Appraisal Review Board Chairman Bill Dries, whom she sent this letter to.
In that letter I sent to him, I included all the backup documents, the research that I had done on this home, asking for a research and a favorable response from him.
I denied an appeal.
Why?
There was no evidence presented that she did not receive it.
No one knows for certain what happened to the letter, yet Dries made it clear the burden of proof lies with the taxpayer. We asked Dries how many other taxpayers said they missed their hearing dates because they never got notice. On average, 25 every week.
The district is very specific on how they control that and how they deliver it to the post office, and that's their obligation. They met their obligation at that point.
And you don't feel like there's any room for error in that process?
There's always room for error.
In your letter, you explained she could appeal her taxes in 2016, but you did not explain she had another opportunity to make her case this year. Why not?
No, our responsibility is just to look at the evidence presented to us.
News 4 learned a taxpayer who is denied a rescheduled hearing by the chairman can request a 41.411 hearing. Credwig has since done that and is waiting to hear back from the ARB. But she feels like these extra steps could have been avoided had she been allowed to file her original protest online.
Why can't they make it an e-file system for all homeowners, whether or not it's homesteaded or not?
Because Credwig didn't have the homestead exemption on the property in question, she wasn't able to file online. Dries says it's an issue concerned property owners need to address with the legislature as they're reviewing and revising tax law every session. I'm News 4 troubleshooter April Molina.